Yeah, so there are some points like first I will check like what cities, like what is the population that particular city. So what is the median household income? Is that property in good neighborhood or good school zones? So at high level, I will check that one and also crime rate in that particular neighborhood. Then I will go in deep into like income and expenses. So where is the value add, whether we can achieve this rent projection. Let's say the current market rents are X numbers, so can we achieve Y number with value add program or with organic rent growth? So those kind of stuff I will look.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pipe Show. I'm your host, Vinki Loomba, and today I have a very special guest, Rama Krishna Chunchu, with us. Rama is a founder of USHA Investment Group, LLC. Rama has a BE in Mechanical Engineering from Osmania University, India, and has a corporate background in IT. He started investing in real estate since 2015 and has taken multiple units. Today we'll discuss with Rama about his first deal, the acquisition plus the underwriting. Welcome, Rama, to my show.
Thank you very much, Vinky, for a great introduction. Always great chatting with you. Nice to be in your podcast.
Thank you. Before we get started, I would like to ask you if you can share your background with me and tell me how did you become who you are today?
Awesome. Sure. So I came from India. I'm part of, basically I'm from South India, and I did like engineering in mechanical and moved into like IT job. I worked for around 15 plus years in IT. I came to US around 2007 and worked for, around 15 plus years in IT side. And I started investing into real estate around 2014. Initially, I started investing in single families and townhomes and those kind of stuff. Then I realized, working in single families, it's, too much time. And, also I was working in full-time IT side, and, managing this stuff is challenging. So then somehow I get into, multifamily side, and I explored a lot of stuff, reading and listening podcasts, reading books, and, attending some virtual conferences, something like that. That's how I get into multifamily side. Then, I did my first deal in 2022 as GP side. Before that, I invested a couple of deals as a passive investor. Yeah.
So you said you were a mechanical engineer before stepping into real estate, or before you started investing in the single family homes. And how was, that job like, or what did you learn? What kind of skill sets that you have in that position?
So I did engineering in mechanical side, but I worked in IT side. So definitely, like from IT, like you need a lot of analytical skills, and for completing day-to-day jobs, or leading teams, or delegating tasks, or accomplishing things within budget, within time, within quality. So those things definitely I can translate into real estate side. Mainly like analyzing markets, or underwriting deals, or talking with the partners, or investors, or different vendors. Yeah.
You had a bunch of transferable skills. Was that transition easy from corporate job to real estate?
Yeah. It's easy some way, but at the same time, some aspects it's challenging also. Let's say cap raising on other side. That is completely new to me. Asking for capital is definitely challenging, but I'm working on it. So definitely I will I'll make progress on that area.
When you transition from single family to multifamily, how did you start? Did you start investing as an LP, or did you just jump onto the GP position?
So I started as LP, but even before that, I started exploring. My main goal is working as GP side. So I learned some stuff, attending conferences, listening podcasts, something like, your podcast. And again, like a lot of knowledge, and also underwriting a lot of deals and working with brokers for, and touring a lot of deals. But, before jumping into active side, I invested a couple of deals as passive investor. Then, I got opportunity to work as a GP side. Then I closed the deal.
Let me ask you, when you started investing as a limited partner, was there any hesitation, or was there something that was holding you back to get started as a limited partner or investing in others' deals?
No, I didn't have that issue, because before that, I was attending conferences, or, attending different meetups, or, listening their podcast, something like that. So I don't have any issue with that.
So you had the background and you kind of understood how the investing world works. So you were okay with investing with others. So how did you get the sponsors at that time? What was the strategy?
So mainly, like, through referrals, I can say, to word of mouth, some people recommend, oh, this this sponsor is good, or something like that. That is one way. Other way is, listening podcasts and attending their conferences, or recommendation through, different areas like meetups or Facebook groups, or, bigger pockets, something like that.
Interesting. So let's talk about your first deal. You said you got your first deal in 2022 this year?
Yes, we closed the first deal in 2022. Yeah.
Interesting. So how big is that deal?
It's 64 units deal.
How did you find that deal?
It's through broker relationships. So basically, I'm working with this broker for a few other deals before that. So I was stood a few properties and I was submitted LOIs, but we didn't own other deals. But for this deal, we got through broker relations.
So let's talk about the broker relationship. And you and me, we both know that how important the broker relationship is in this real estate gig that we are doing. So how did you build this relationship? Because you were a limited partner. How did you create that trust relationship with the brokers that they gave you this deal?
Yes, it's not overnight thing. So I was calling to these brokers, like 1 or 2 years before that. I was touring these properties and underwriting a lot of deals, and submitting LOIs, and also I'm leveraging with some experienced partner, for submitting any deals. So it's not, I didn't get deal immediately, but it took some time to build that credibility. It's like consistent action, like consistently touring the properties, consistently submitting the LOIs, consistently talking with these brokers. That's how I built that credibility. And also other factors, like I do run also podcasts. That is also helping me in building that credibility. Yeah.
Share with me, how did you build that credibility other than submitting the LOIs or touring the properties? Was there something that you learned during this exercise that will help you going forward as well to build these relationships even stronger?
Yes, definitely. Initial stages, I don't have any background with multifamily investing. So definitely, awarding that deal to like newcomers like me is like challenging for even brokers also, right? End of the day, they want to close the deals. So, so I was doing a lot of deals, and also initially I submitted with my own name, but later I realized I need to, leverage some experienced partners also, so that to win the deals. So I partnered with a few other experienced partners in this market, in this area. So, and I submitted LOIs along with experienced partners. That's how I built that credibility.
Great. So you said partners. So let's talk about that. How did you find the right partners?
So it's like consistently meeting different operators in this space through different mastermind groups, or meetups, or podcasts or virtual conferences, something like that. That's how I met partners.
But how did you figure out that this is the right partner for me? Did you go through some team building exercise like storming, norming, performing?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so we have like, multiple times we have multiple calls, and, they came to my podcast also as a guest. I know them, through other conferences. I met them. I participated in some mastermind groups, and and I learned about them, what they are doing in this space, and how they are doing, and also how they are behaving, or how they are responding. If I have any questions, are they are, flexible enough to work with us, like newcomers, new operators, or and also like trustworthy, and trusting is one of the important factor in this space, right? Any space, and also mutual, and also skill set also, like I'm good at underwriting deals, or sourcing deals. I'm leveraging with other partners who are good with raising capital, asset management, some kind of stuff. Yeah.
So how many people do you have in your team now?
So for this deal, I partner with multiple partners. Like I think another 3 partners, I can say, from GP side.
Interesting. So let's go back to your deal. You said you found the deal to a broker relationship. How did you pick the right market for this deal?
So yeah, fortunately for me, I look like population growth and job growth. They are the important factors, and I will look for emerging markets where like population or job growth. Fortunately for me, North Carolina, South Carolina are like good markets for multifamily. So jobs are coming here, and population growing in this market. So this is like comes under Charlotte MSA, one of the emerging markets, or a good market. So that's how I found this market, and this deal.
Would you be able to share some tools with me? What kind of tools you use to study the market? Is there something is online that we can look and figure out the population growth or the job growth in a particular area?
Yeah, definitely there are multiple tools. Like one of that is like I think labor market something. I didn't remember exact website details, but I can share that offline. But there are some sites where we can get population. I mean, in Google itself we can search population from how much population for that particular city in 2010 versus 2020. So we can compare that. And there are a couple of other sites also. There's where we can get city data, and that data, and jobs also. There is a labor market site, something is there. So from there we can find out how jobs are growing from last decade to this decade, last 5 years. Yeah, or each month also we can get.
Good. So that's how you're good at sourcing deals, because you've been doing it for a while, right? And the other question I wanted to ask you is, you were talking about the broker relationships earlier. So in order to maintain the broker relationships, broker wants kind of reciprocation there, because they want, if they send you a deal, they want a response right away, because you don't want to sit on it. So for you to look at the deal, I'm pretty sure you underwrite the deal very quickly. So let's talk about that. Your underwriting skills. You said you're really good in underwriting. So did you create your own model, or do you have a kind of smaller version of the underwriting that you can quickly check the numbers and get back to the broker? How do you do that? What is the process there for you?
Yeah, for me, like I use like existing models by other operators in this space. So I didn't create my own at this point, but there are some standard models available in this space. So I use their templates. So as soon as like I get any deal from the broker, normally they will share operating memorandum and T2L and rent rolls. So once I will get that, like I will input that information, like rent rolls and rental information, by breakdowning like number of beds, 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, like that. Now, so I will input, like I will take the income and expenses from T2L, and I will input into my model. Then I will project like this is my T2L and income and expenses, and how I'm going to operate, like the pro forma projections from next 1 year, next 3 years, 5 years, like that. Yeah.
Oh, great. So when you're underwriting this, what exactly you look for? What are some of the points, that like really resonate with yours? What kind of assumptions
Yeah, so there are some points like first I will check like what cities, like what is the population that particular city. So what is the median household income? Is that property in good neighborhood or good school zones? So at high level, I will check that one and also crime rate in that particular neighborhood. Then I will go in deep into like income and expenses. So where is the value add, whether we can achieve this rent projection. Let's say the current market rents are X numbers. So can we achieve Y number with value add program or with organic rent growth? So those kind of stuff I will look, is there any efficiencies in management side or something like that?
So how can you tell like which deal is good deal and which deal is bad deal after you're doing this underwriting model?
Yeah, definitely. So and there are like so many deals, like hundreds plus deals. So we can know by looking at initial numbers. Like normally we go for at least 15 IRR or around 20, 15 to 20 AR also annualized return, and also at least five. Now it's 5 to 7 cash on cash. If it meets that criteria, I can say yeah, it's good deal, and it's bad deal. And also I will look other aspects like medium household income, at least three times of the rent. If the medium household income in that particular neighborhood is like within 1 mile or 3 miles, if that is three times of projected rents, then I can say, and also meeting other criteria like cash and IRR AR, then I can say good deal.
Right. So you have some sort set targets in your mind, like you said, 15 to 17 IRR, and then 20% AAR. Accordingly, if it's not meeting those expectations, you think that this deal is not for you, and then you move on to the next one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. That's pretty awesome. And I wanted to ask you next question is, how did you increase your network? Because I recall you did earlier this year, you had a summit as well, which was very successful. And thanks for having me on your summit as a speaker. I really enjoy that. So if you can share that experience with me.
Yeah, definitely. Likewise, great to be here on my, summit and panel discussion. So yeah, main thing is like, all these thought leadership platform, either running a podcast or writing book or, or organizing webinars or, all these conferences are mainly building, that, networking with other active investors and also, passive investors, educating passive investors as well as active investors, and learning from them, and what new strategies they are using, and what kind of strategy they are using to raise capital, or sourcing deals or underwriting deals, or asset management or different stuff. That is the main reason I organized that conference, and it will also help me building that brand, or reaching more number of people and by adding value. Yeah.
So you got the deal, you sourced the deal through the broker relations, and then you underwrote the deal. The number looks good for you. It fits your strategy, whatever strategy you had in your mind. And the deal looks good. So what's next for you? You already talk about the team building. You build a team. You found the right partners to work this deal with. And the next one is the closing now. So what was involved in the closing?
Yeah, sure. So once I think if the deal looks good, then I will submit LOI. So then broker will reach out seller, and he will present the deal to the seller. If they will receive multiple LOIs, and they will pick the right buyer for that particular deal. So they will counter offer, or counter that our LOIs. So like if everything is okay, like if terms are good, if agreed with both seller and buyer, then we'll move into PSA stage. That's where attorneys will prepare PSAs and stuff. So during that PSA, like mainly like we're waiting for any comments from seller counsel or buyer counsel, then we'll complete that. For then we'll go into PSA style. Then actual clock starts for our DD, due diligence, and getting loans, and all this stuff. So during DDA period, like we'll do all that due diligence, like plumbing stuff, HVAC stuff, roofing, and sewer lines. All this stuff will inspect, and lease audits also will do. Using like third-party management, like either PM or bringing third-party vendors. Okay. At the same time, we will work with lenders for getting loans. So multiple options like bridge options or agency options are there. So we'll decide which option is better. Bridge versus agency. We'll internally review with other partners and decide which is better for investors. And also like we'll get some insurance codes and also tax stuff by consulting with tax assessor, local tax assessor, and what will be the taxes for next few years, when exactly it will be reassessed, what will be the taxes. Those stuff will we do. And like once we are in and also parallelly we'll organize webinars for raising capital. So and we have some deadlines, and we need to raise capital within certain time. So these things will be in parallel to DD and other stuff. So once we normally we'll get around 60 to 90 days for closing. So once we are in that stage, we'll close the deal and we'll take it from there.
Oh, that's good. First of all, congratulations,
Yeah.
closing the deal. And then other question I wanted to ask you here is now, did you raise any capital for this deal?
Yeah, I did raise some capital, but I'm mainly involved in acquisition side, and also some involved in asset management side.
So share with me that experience, the capital raise. Was that easy, or was there any hesitation?
So for this deal, we leveraged with some experienced partner for main capital raise, but I did my involvement is very minimal, but I use my existing circle for raising capital. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's easy. One time it's easy, I didn't raise too much, right? So that way, I can say it's still learning stage, I can say.
But you partner with the right partner who could bring the money or raise the capital for you, and then you're together in this deal.
Yes,
that's the best thing. I mean, that's the point I wanted to make sure that if you do not have some skill set, you can find that complements you, and then you can work together as a team. And that's what you did.
Correct.
You have created your own brand, right? And you have also written a book. I didn't know that. Can you talk about your book first?
Yeah. So Sure. So since like I invested passively in a couple of deals, so I thought it's useful for other passive investors also. So I wrote a book on creating passive investing through creating apartment investing through passive investing. So mainly, for passive investors, what they need to do, what kind of due diligence they need to do, what are the steps they need to follow to, from researching to closing a deal, of what they can expect during how to find sponsors and how to vet sponsors, and what are the things they need to look, and so what are the steps, what they need to see in the PPMs and all those stuff, what they can expect from K1s, all this stuff, what are the benefits with passive investing.
Oh, that's nice. So I was talking about earlier your brand, that you've created a brand for yourselves. So please share with me, how do you differentiate your brand from the other competition in the industry?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm still early stages of my apartment investing. So definitely I started building that brand through a podcast and our writing book or blogs, and organizing local meetups and webinars and conferences. So the main target for me, educating as many busy professional or IT professionals who are very busy working their jobs, and they don't have enough time to invest, or enough time to actively participate in apartment investing, and also showing them like alternative ways of getting additional streams of income. That is the main target, educating other busy professionals.
Interesting. And all these IT professionals, you and me know, because we have the similar background, they have so many questions, right? When especially as a new investor, they just like, we are very detail oriented, so we need to get to the bottom of it. How did you come up with numbers? So how do you satisfy those questions? I mean, because you have to spend time to build relationship with them,
Yeah. Yes, definitely building relationship is top thing. So yeah, definitely they will ask a lot of questions since like we already involved on this as a passive investor, also active investor. So we know like what kind of question they will ask, and we know like we seriously involved in this active side, right? So we know the answer. So that's how.
And plus, that's the reason you wrote the book.
Yes. So
Share with me any lessons learned so far that's useful from all this experience since LP to transition to GP, actually from IT transition to LP and then now GP, and then you're trying to scale now.
Yeah, definitely. Real estate or apartment syndication is a team game, so we cannot do alone. So definitely, if you want to reach further and if you want to get more results, we need to form a team and finding right partners and leverage experienced partners to do more deals and to close first deal. So it's a team game. First thing, and also it's not we cannot do overnight success. It takes consistent and persistent action. So and also always try to add more value to active investors or passive investors. So yeah, end of the day, you need to add more value to investors or partners or your residents or different vendors.
Yeah, I like that. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. That's
Yeah.
good. So share one golden nugget with my audience.
Golden nuggets. Yeah, so definitely multifamily investing is like everyone needs home, so shelter. So multifamily is like, so you will get good passive, good results, passive or actively, like you definitely they will get, above returns, above average returns with, multifamily.
Okay, this brings us to our rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You're going to answer in one word or one sentence only.
Sure.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So what is one of the best skills that you have learned over the years that works for you all the time?
Yeah, definitely analytical skills. And analytical skills.
What is the best book that you have read or recommend to my audience?
There are a lot of books I read. So I think Who Not How is a good book. So currently, I can recommend that.
That's true. Every phase of life, there's a new book.
Yes. Yeah.
What is your biggest passion?
Biggest passion?
Yes.
So biggest passion is like, entrepreneurship, I can say. But I like sports, but, now I'm focusing on entrepreneurship side.
In one word, what does life mean to you?
It's like, achieving goals or being happy.
If you got a chance to change something in your life right now, or even going back, what would that be and why?
Definitely, maybe I should have more, leadership style. I should have, like earlier, like I was not leading in too many areas. But like I want to change that area. I want to lead or taking that extreme ownership.
Great. So how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, people listeners can reach out through info@ushacapital.com, info@ushacapital.com, or they can go to ushacapital.com website.
Thank you so much, Rama, for coming to my show. I really enjoyed it.
Likewise, Vinki, thank you for this opportunity. I really enjoyed conversation. Thank you.